Japan, a country known for its prosperity and economic boom after World War II, where the country saw exponential growth leading to the technical marvel it is today. With its bright city lights and its quality of life conveniences, people from all over the world flock to the country to visit its temples and indulge in its fine cuisine and culture. Though what you don't normally see is the darker side of Japan, the side of Japan where the mafia, also known as the Yakuza, reside. Come with me as we go deeper in the underworld of Japan. The Yakuza are an organized crime syndicate that specialize in white-collar crimes such as fraud and blackmail and other forms of extortion. You may recognize them from movies or popular video games such as the Like a Dragon series. One method of extortion they use is to buy a small portion of stocks, enough to get them into board meetings where they will physically intimidate other attendees, threatening violence or to humiliate high management in the target companies. They are also assumed to play a big hand in the real estate market, which helped create the economic bubble of the 1980s. At one point, the Yakuza amassed a total of 180,000 members across Japan, last reported in 1963. The last reported number of active Yakuza members is stated to be around 10,000 official members according to recent studies, which is still a number to be reckoned with. What you may also not know is the average member of the Yakuza is 54 years old, meaning the organization is aging just like the population of Japan. But we'll save that for another video. This is perhaps due to the anti-Yakuza laws making it harder for the Yakuza to operate. They often sport nice suits which are well-tailored, giving them a well-kept sharp image. An image of professionalism and class, but underneath these business suits you will often find their body mostly covered in tattoos. These tattoos are administered through a method called hand-poke tebari, where the tattoo artist will use an instrument to inject the ink manually, unlike modern-day tattoos. This method is more painful and slower, so the bigger the tattoo the more pain endured, which allows the Yakuza to wear the tattoos like a badge of honor or some form of accolade. Though they focus on white-collar crimes, this does not mean the Yakuza are not willing to get their hands dirty. In 1981, a war broke out between the Yamaguchi-gumi, the biggest Yakuza clan, and the Ichiwa-kai faction over a feud about who will be the new leader of the Yamaguchi. After a series of natural deaths of the bosses, Hiroshi Yamamoto was poised to be the new leader. However, fate had other plans. Hiroshi Yamamoto had his ambitions thwarted when Masahisa Takaneka was the one elected to become Kumicho, also known as the Godfather, which caused Hiroshi Yamamoto to separate from the Yamaguchi-gumi, taking 3,000 members with him to form his own faction, the Ichiwa-kai. This move will help set the stage for the war to come. Yamamoto may have been able to persuade 3,000 members to join him, but he would soon lose hundreds of members back to the Yamaguchi. As Yamamoto was losing numbers and power, he realized what he needed to do to gain control. Yamamoto realized he would need to eliminate his Takaneka. On the night of January 26, 1985, Hiroshi would gather his hitmen and form a plan to kill Takanaka. They would follow Takanaka and wait until he is about to enter an elevator before approaching them and opening fire, killing Takanaka and other underbosses with him. Kazuna Kanishi immediately took control of the Yamaguchi and set on a campaign of revenge, igniting a war that would ravage the streets of the Kansai region for the next 4 years. In the events that followed, 36 gang members would lose their lives, and many more would be wounded in what was recorded to be over 220 gun battles. It was such a national event that even the newspapers would help keep the population updated with stats and scorecards, almost like it was a sport. It was clear the Yamaguchi-gumi were out to eradicate the Ichiwa-kai. In 1986, the conflict came to an end when one of the Ichiwa-kai members was so brutally murdered that the Yamaguchi realized things had gone too far for too long. This opened a form of dialogue where peace negotiations began with the help of a neutral Tokyo clan, the Inagawa-ka. Peace was accepted by the Yamaguchi and the Ichiwa-kai, reuniting both clans under one banner. But thanks to the Yamaichi War, the clan's numbers never recovered even to this day. The Yakuza are not always hostile though. They were recognized for providing speedy recovery aid during Japan's earthquake of 2011, which devastated the country. Of course, this does not right the wrongs of the Yakuza, but does show they care, even if it's just a little. So what do you think about the Japanese mafia, the Yakuza, and where was the first time you heard of them? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you made it to the end of the video.